Good morning, guys. Good morning. Once again, welcome to South Africa Lately, a channel that discusses South African trending news. We do, however, grab here and there from international news when it is trending enough to be brought here. As always, when I'm about to do a political content, I have to say, kindly note that I'm not a politician. I do not have deep knowledge in politics. However, this is very important to me, even more important than understanding politics, because at the end of the day, I want to see actions that benefit me than understanding your political game. Do get? However, I am a South African citizen who is also a voter, and I do believe that my views count when it comes to political affairs of this gorgeous country of ours. Now, kindly go with me as I look into the politicians that have confused me recently. The first one is Vuyo Zungula. You know, Vuyo is one of the politicians that I respect and I've come to love. And when he speaks, he speaks like a proper South African, being worried about the issues that an ordinary South African is worried about. So he said something, that there was supposed to be a protest, a shutdown that didn't happen. So he said, it seems everyone else has a right to protest and register their displeasure in this country except for black South Africans. The government continues to protect illegal foreigners while putting severe constraints on the rights of South Africans. Totally agree with him. Barring them from exercising their hard-earned democratic right to demonstrate. #national shutdown. You know what confuses me? It's like there is no government that has barred South Africans from doing their shutdown. There isn't. And he posted this following what the government has put up out there, like on social media, wherever you saw it, but I know that this is something that you possibly have seen it somewhere. There was no barring of anyone. Government has posted, government will not tolerate lawlessness. Then they put this this post was even I think Fikile Mbalula shared it as well, and other ANC members have shared it, and I think SAPS as well. So the government will not tolerate lawlessness. Members of the public are encouraged to report any criminal activity on the Crime Stop number, and that was the number. So, who barred South Africans from doing their shutdown? Who did? Now it makes it him saying that it makes it sound like there was criminality planned. Because I don't see how a shutdown is an act of criminality. You get? If you have gone through the right processes and finally you know that I am rightfully participating in this shutdown. You get? So there was no way the government said there must be no shutdown. We're coming from an era whereby the shops were looted, businesses burnt. Austin was the name of the game, looting. We cannot have that situation again. So the government is rightfully alert on that one. Okay, now moving right along, let us look into the next person. And on number 4, we have Floyd Shivambu. And the reason why Floyd Shivambu is on this list is because we knew what his views were when he was still with the EFF as far as the former president Jacob Zuma was concerned. So him moving to MK, becoming the member of MK and finally becoming the Secretary General, we expected him very to spin things a bit and say, here and there, and make it sound reasonable why he's with MK and working so closely with the former president. But him taking that direction, saying we were misled, that's what confuses me, because Floyd looks like a smart person. We all know that. We have come to know that Floyd is super smart. But for him to take that direction and say we were misled, like his head was dysfunctional all that time, or it was malfunctioning and he was not aware of his surroundings or of the things that he was saying, it did not stick. So why did he choose that direction? He could have said something else. If things change, we are here now. I'm working with former President Jacob Zuma with a different understanding of things. Zap, close it. But that's me. I am not Floyd. Floyd is smarter than me.
I'm not saying this now because I'm in Mkhonto season. I said it when I was still in the EFF. Like possibly for the past, if people pay close attention to what we say and write publicly, I said on several occasions that we were misled on President Zuma. Like long before there was even discussion of the formation of Mkhonto season. That is why,
but
as part of this engagement,
that's why I really want to know.
Yes.
We were misled.
Yes.
Who misled you?
So the entire discourse of South Africa's politics, like inclusive of influential media platforms and state institutions, which in some instances were abused to pursue political agendas. It's not a secret that as public protector, Thuli Madonsela was in pursuit of a narrow political agenda. It also shows with what she got to do and who she got to associate with after her office as a public protector. At that time, we thought she's a genuine person who is in pursuit of a genuine agenda, but she was in pursuit of a class agenda which sought to portray President Zuma as corrupt, to portray President Zuma as a person who is not living within the constitution, and she was doing so in protection of the white capitalist establishment. And we somehow fell into that trap, and that is why we supported Thuli Madonsela and said, let's have state capture inquiry and everything else. The inquiry happened. None of those monumental accusations that were made against President Zuma were proven then. Even in his absence, like they couldn't come and say, no, you didn't defend yourself. We've got the evidence that you bought a multi-million mansion in Dubai, you took billions of rands out of the state. They couldn't prove. There's so many allegations that we're making against the Siyabonga Gama, Lucky Montana, Brian MOLEFE, all the critical role players in the government of President Zuma, but they were opposing them because those were beginning to push a proper radical agenda which was going to undo the injustices of the past and balance South Africa's economy to reflect its demographics in terms of population.
Just how much misled Floyd was, how much of that being misled was involved in him saying the things that he was saying, because he said a lot. Just a reminder of the things that he said before I bring in CIC, the EFF CIC, to say, nah, no one misled us, no one.
Now, the reason why Africa is referred to as a dark continent is because we've got post-colonial disasters, imposters, thugs, criminals who by coincidence, accident, or by design find themselves occupying the highest political office in their land. These include Obiang Basako of Equatorial Guinea, Paul Biya of Cameroon, Blaise Compaoré of Burkina Faso, General Sani Abacha of Nigeria, Jose Eduardo dos Santos of Angola, Idi Amin Dada of Uganda, Mobutu Sese Seko of a country named Zaire, and unfortunately, Mr. Jacob Zuma of a country he's going to soon name Guptaland. And what are the common features of these people, of these traits that destroy the post-colonial state? They seek to enrich their families. They seek to undermine the rule of law. They have no regard of the constitution. They prosecute and persecute political opponents, including of the political parties that they come from. They fight in that particular format. And when everything else has failed, they kill, they assassinate their opponents. That is what we're faced with here in South Africa, of a political post-colonial disaster called Mr. Jacob Zuma. That is why we stand as the EFF to say that every opportunity that arises to get rid of such post-colonial disasters, we must act in unison. But we think that there's a tactical mistake, a tactical blunder in the manner in which the motion has been put forward. Because we believe that the liberation movement itself should have found it in its own conscience to act against a Mr. Jacob Zuma who has abdicated his responsibility as a leader of our country and gave it to a family.
Just see the glow of Julius Malema there. You know, politics will stress you out. It's like a stressor. So Julius Malema came out to say, you know what, no ways, we were not misled. That is why I'm confused why Floyd took that direction of saying we were misled when he knew very well that the chances are Julius Malema would respond to that.
We are not going to sell the future generation for the dreams of an 82-year-old man who is corrupt to the core, who has found his own thing for his own gain. Always, we are going to fight corruption during Zuma, even after Zuma. Zuma is corrupt. We were not misled about the corruption of Zuma. Cyril Ramaphosa is corrupt. We were not.
And on number 3, we have Panyaza Lesufi. And the reason why Panyaza Lesufi is on this list is because currently in Gauteng there's a water crisis. And Panyaza Lesufi seems to be more of a politician, focusing more in politics than addressing the issues that are facing the Gauteng people. And politics are not the only thing that you get votes through. You're supposed to do service delivery, which is the main thing. So imagine now ANC members in Gauteng hearing him talk like this, and they know that they don't have water coming out of their taps in this festive season. And you have your leader there speaking the way he's speaking. Like, are you going to listen to this person, or the things that he is saying will be offensive to you? My confusion comes in the sense that why is he silent on the issue? And I'm going to also share the views of the people of Gauteng complaining about the same thing, that he is not saying anything about, he is not concerned about the water crisis in Gauteng.
What's wrong that our children should be in a position to go to a school that is next door to them? So to our president, Friday the 13th is a liberation day for all of us. Friday the 13th is one thing and one thing only. Bella Act must be implemented in full, and Bella Act must represent the future. So that's what skills development is all about, comrades. Comrades, I want to conclude by saying, young people, I beg you, young people, I'm pleading with you. Don't be members of other members, and don't allow elderly people to influence you. If you are going to run this conference and run the affairs of the Youth League through common sense, know that we have failed your generation. We need fresh ideas. We need fresh thinking. We need fresh approach. And that fresh approach is one and one thing only. The ANC does not belong to DA. The ANC does not belong to LNZile. The ANC must reclaim its stand at any time. We might be a generation of government of national unity, but our approach is very simple. It's the total emancipation for power for everyone, so that the ANC must lead this government and the ANC must lead this country alone without any other person accompanying us. We need young people to shape that particular future. We are children of Erikwala. We are children of Klisani. We are children of Peter Mugaba. Cowardice.
I am going to share with you the views of the people of Gauteng, how they feel about service delivery there, and Panyaza Lesufi. So I'm going to start with this one. He says, Panyaza must focus on provincial issues and stay away from national issues. Westbury residents are protesting for water. 3,000 cancer patients didn't get treatment this year because this province couldn't find proper tender procurement of 250 million, allocated to the health department. So people are already put off. So if you are focusing more on being a politician, you're going to be a politician with no votes. Because you cannot be talking like that, the way he was talking, trying to be this top politician, and the people that you are leading in the province are this dissatisfied with you. And it has been proven with the votes over the previous years declining. So the ANC has to do better. So reading another slide, this one says, you are entrenching the current identity, Panyaza. There is a looming water crisis, no service delivery, and rampant crime, but somehow you see it fit to build a 200 billion airport. We have seen those looting movies on rerun deliver the bloody service already. You see, people are not happy. People are just not happy. So you cannot be on a marathon doing all these political speeches all over, and the people that you are supposed to use as a sample and say, now we provide service. The ANC has improved. The ANC is cleansing itself. We know how service delivery looks like. And this one says Panyaza is playing politics while Joburg is burning. The water crisis and crime are already setting communities against the ANC. You see, this one has said everything in summary, all that I wanted to say in the previous slides. This person has summarized it. Now, by mentioning the Democratic Alliance and saying that the ANC does not belong to the Democratic Alliance, the ANC, you have not been seen anyway addressing the crisis that Gauteng is in all shapes and forms. You have not done that. And the people that you have mentioned in your political speech come out when they are doing their own political speeches. They talk about the current crisis that Gauteng is facing. And who do you think the people are going to listen to? The one who's pushing slogans who's saying, we are children of Christian, we are children of Oliver Tambo, we are this, we are this. South Africans are so over that. South Africans are so over that. So the next elections, when you see the DA taking Gauteng all by themselves, don't blame South Africans. The statements of clever blacks must not be involved in this whole thing, because that's how the ANC gets things twisted. They are not addressing the core issues that the community that they're expecting to vote for them are concerned about. Okay, let me calm down.
Provincial and local government need to step up to the plate. And in this province of Gauteng, we've seen a hands-off approach by Premier Lesufi and the provincial government, and we've seen a don't care attitude by the Action South Africa, EFF and ANC-led council here in Gauteng. Now, 2 weeks ago, the President wanted to declare a state of disaster over the spate of foodborne illnesses. So we cannot move from crisis to crisis, throwing our hands up in despair. We do not accept dry taps as a new normal, and neither should residents. And what the 3% shows very clearly is that when you have a municipality that's fixing the leaks, that's doing proper credit control, that's paying its bulk water providers, that is making sure that the relevant maintenance of water reticulation and storage and pump schemes are done, you can avoid this situation. It is not the inevitable in South Africa.
And on number 2, we have our president, our current president, Cyril Ramaphosa. So more than anything, I was just saddened and confused. I was like, are you so out of touch with the things that are happening in our country? I was so disappointed.
In addition, tourists from Nigeria are now able to apply for a visa without even submitting a passport. We expect that this 11th session of our Binational Commission will enable us to consolidate cooperation in a number of other areas.
I was like, why didn't you leave things as they are at least, or maybe things as they were at least? Why did you have to go that far? Because you could have said multiple entry visas for businesses, wara. That is much understandable. But to take it further and say, now we're relaxing the visas for Nigerians, and what drives South Africans mad is why Nigerians in particular, if there is no hidden agenda. Because other countries are restricting Nigerians for valid reasons. Is no one hates Nigerians. It's because of the things that some Nigerians do, who seem to be the majority at this moment. The ones that are doing bad things are overshadowing the ones that are doing good things. Sometimes I see the good ones trying to come out and sort of dealing or maybe trying to address the issues that are being done by those Nigerians who are doing bad things, but no one is really seeing them or hearing them. So why relax our visa? You have other countries like your United Arab Emirates, you have Saudi Arabia, you have Qatar, you have Kuwait restricting their visas, and there comes South Africa say, I'm relaxing the visa specifically for Nigerian visitors. Specifically, it did not make sense. It did not. Even Nigerians that are doing good, are complaining about the Nigerians that are doing bad. The United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia. Like, why are you doing this? Why? And apart from COVID, because I wouldn't want to focus on COVID as the reason for the restrictions. I want to focus on the security concerns. They cited the security concerns, and there comes South Africa in the midst of a mess that South Africa is. And we have Singapore, we have New Zealand. So South Africa is a mess, and Nigerians are everywhere included in the mess that South Africa is at this moment. And our own president says, you know what, the visitors can just apply without even using a passport. They don't need a passport to apply. It did not make any sense. It did not make any sense. If it made sense for you, kindly share in the comment section. Or if you want, whatever your views are, please use the comment section. And at number 1, we have the former president Jacob Zuma. Not for anything. Not for anything. I was confused. It was entertaining. He is on number 1 because it still makes me laugh up to this moment. It really makes me laugh. It really makes me laugh. Please, you need to hear him yourself.
Must be a big drum for MK. MK members must put their things there. If you are in Qatar, you must have your drum there. Where in Qatar will vote there. And those things must be counted from there to the basket that we counted on. Nabangi. And then later you take as a to keep a smile. Why can't we do so if we are indeed democratic? Why you must now go that side, put it there? Do you see what I'm talking about?
As always, guys, kindly use the comment section to share your views. I'm looking forward to reading those. Do have a beautiful day.